And we are live. I'm here. Apologies. We didn't do this last night. So apologies for that before we start. Plenty of stuff to say here. Get your comments in. Check out that description. I am the golden one. Ricky. Oh! Pour yourself a drink because this is the Reigning Rock podcast. And here is my co-host. I'm going to put him. Technology. The Irish ace himself, Ian. I'll bring you in.
Ooh.
And everybody, yes, like and subscribe. So we'll say plenty a lot to talk about here, but we'll kick off with the first segment, as always, which is there we go. What's cooking at the table? So just a quick chat what we've been up to. So Ian, I know you've been out for a birthday meal. Apart from that, what else have you been up to?
I continue my karate. I didn't go to the cinema this week, but I'm seeing that this weekend.
Seeing what this weekend?
Another engagement. This weekend I'll be seeing The Beekeeper. I couldn't go last week because another engagement happened. So, but the usual. I saw NXT. I saw Dynamite.
Your Wi-Fi keeps cutting out, but yes, you went for a meal. I believe you went for a birthday meal, did you?
I didn't go for any. No.
Oh,
holidays.
Dear.
I
Wi-Fi
saw a couple of holidays, but no, I had no meals.
Yeah, you went for a birthday meal on Saturday or something, didn't you?
No, I had a 60th to go to.
Yeah, so okay then. You went to a 60th then.
It wasn't a meal, it was a party.
Okay then. Was it good?
We've got someone written in.
Well, okay, you can. Yeah, shall I? Do you want me to do the comments, or do you want to? It's easy. You just click on it. Shall I do it?
I don't mind. Here, I'll show it. Hang on, I'll show it. Let me test first time.
One's up for the Golden Chief and the Wise Man. That is right. Acknowledge me. Also, did you catch Gladiators?
I have actually been meaning to catch that now. I must actually see if I can get a BBC player up and just get that up. But that was just in time who just got in touch with us there. That'd actually be a good name, the Golden Chief and the Wise Man. I think I might change my name on this one.
I watched Gladiators. It's not as good as it was back in the good old days. Wolf was everybody says Wolf, but for me, Wolf was the guy for me. Yeah, I know, it was all right.
Here, look at this. Look at this. Change your name. I am now the Wise Man. I'm going to buy that now. Thank you very much. Yeah, I grew up on Gladiators in the 90s. I was a big fan. Jet was one of my childhood crushes in the night. I mentioned this last week in the interview that the one who played Jet was one of my childhood crushes in the 90s. Her and Amy Jo Johnson, who played Kimberly in the Power Rangers. They were two of my childhood crushes in the 90s. I enjoyed the 2008 one. Was grand. It's shame it didn't last. But like the thing about the 2008 one, it introduced us to one gladiator who would go on to be Nick Aldis, and then there was of course
Oblivion.
Went on to be Mason Ryan, and he was terrible.
Give me a second here, my dog. He's going crazy. Go to bed. Was Wolf not your favourite back in the day?
I liked Wolf. Yeah, Wolf was a guilty pleasure of mine. Nick, he was a gas character.
Yeah. He was kind of the only one with a character. The rest were just big guys. But I'll just very quickly go through what I've been up to. So first of all, got yet another t-shirt made. T-shirt 316 wrestling t-shirts.
Did they just whoop your ass?
I want one for every day of the year. So it's, of course, I copy my tribal chief, the greatness thing with RG on the front, and acknowledge me on the back. And I got it free at Street Shirts. I got it free. I got a T-shirt, fill out a review, and they said, "You want a free T-shirt?" Well, I wasn't going to say no. Also been to the gym. The craft class, craft class, if you want to call it that I go to every week. Last week was my mum's birthday yesterday, so I made her a birthday card. But this week, and you're going to probably see the behind the scenes of my setup, which isn't anything really. But I've got to, so I made this today. So here we go. There's my setup, but I'd like a designer mirror, so I did that today. And that's it, really. Watch Gladiators. That's it. I watch stuff on there. I don't watch anything unless
Let's see how long this one lasts.
I don't watch anything live. And quickly, do you watch Dancing on Ice?
No.
Fair enough. I watched it again. It's not as good as it was with Philip, but we won't go there. If you know what Philip Schofield did, then you know. If you don't,
yes, I know. I know the story.
Yeah, well, let's not go there. So I know you said you haven't watched.
Hang on, when you're just talking about that there, to quote our truth, I don't think that's PG.
Yeah, let's not go about what Philip Schofield did. Well, he definitely ruined his career. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, what StreamYard is the worst. So I know you said you didn't watch movies, but we can just discuss the movies I've watched. So the next segment here is let me put up the banner, not the banner, there's the banner. Movie talk. So last Wednesday I watched Deep Fear. Have you heard of it?
No, is it on Netflix?
No, it's on. You don't want to watch it. It's on one of these websites that I use, but it's a shark movie. Which I love my shark movies, but it's one of these movies that they play dramatic music to make it sound bigger and better. And it was decent, but Night Swim. Have you seen that?
I haven't seen that one yet, but I haven't heard good things about it.
It was okay.
The next film on my list is Beekeeper. I'll be going to Beekeeper. Mostly when it comes to movies at the moment, I'm keeping an eye on award season.
Night Swim's okay. It's different. It's about a haunted swimming pool.
Yeah, that sounds good. Well, don't get in the swimming pool then if it's haunted. Don't get in the swimming pool if it's haunted. That sounds like that's a simple option. If it's haunted, don't get in it. Or else just suck the water up if the water is evil.
Difference is all I'm going to say.
No, you probably wouldn't have seen it. Did you ever see Forgetting Sarah Marshall?
Possibly.
Oh, if you won't, it's a reference I'm going to use from it. You won't get it.
Okay, give me a second. I write down the movies I've seen. Just give me like half a second here. When I need something, I can't get it. Jesus. Spy Kids. Did you watch the Spy Kids movie? Have you seen them?
Batista was in one. That's right.
No, that was My Spy. The Spy Kids movies. The first two were good. The third was okay. The third was decent, and the newest one is poor.
No, I haven't seen one yet.
Again, one of those films that play this dramatic music to make it sound bigger and better. And last night's movie, good film, Lift, with Kevin Hart in it.
Oh, I've heard about that one. That's on Netflix, yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, good film. Kevin Hart is a great actor.
I don't watch a lot. Like the only two films I've seen a few of his films. The only ones like I've seen the two Jumanji films with him, The Rock and Jack Black. I haven't seen any other film with him in it at the moment that I can think back on. Like I haven't.
Central Intelligence.
I've seen the two Jumanji films with him. Oh no, I didn't just see that one. No.
But he is a good actor. He is funny. But yeah, good film. So if you get a chance to catch it.
Remind me.
Lift. Good film.
Oh, Lift. Yeah. I see it there.
So the next segment, we'll take a small 30-second break here. So if you're watching, grab yourself a drink, and then we'll get on.
I saw his cameo in Hobbs and Shaw as well, and I've also seen. No, I haven't seen a lot of. I'm just and Grudge Match. And the 5-year engagement. There were ones I've seen with him in it.
So yeah, we'll take a small little break here, and then get to some wrestling talk here. But excuse me, like I said, grab yourself a drink and sit back, relax, and enjoy this. So he's right, Pro Wrestling Tees Goldman's, and there are going to be hopefully a couple more new designs going up, to keep an eye out for them. And look at my socials on screen right now as we talk, as it's segment number 3 here, and it is Wrestling Roundup. So I've made some very quickly. I didn't unfortunately get. No, we don't. Unfortunately, it was a pleasure having Ryan Lowe on. Thank you once again. Thank you to him doing it. But I didn't get to finish my thoughts about Tony Khan's tweet. So some of these are, and I've made some notes. Some of these are something to nothing. Some are really small things. Some are big things. So, and I'll make it as quick as I can. We've got plenty to talk about. So apparently there is no rage about Hulk going for the title. Apparently that's just been made up. He drives away fans. Have you heard of a wrestling YouTuber called Wrestling Days, Ian?
I've heard of them, yeah. And I know another one you probably talked about that always speaks a lot about Tony Khan. That'd be 83 Weeks by Eric Bischoff.
Wrestling.
I've heard of Wrestling Days.
So for those who don't know, great guy. I met him Money in the Bank weekend at a wrestling shop in London. He works very, very hard. He does his watch parties, his watch alongs, and I'm sure we got it shown when CM Punk returned. I'm sure WWE shown him. If I'm mistaken, then I'm mistaken. But he's the fan you definitely won't watch in your product, and he stopped watching. So it's evidence Tony Khan is pushing the fans away. He's Wrestling Days is someone you definitely won't watching because he gets the word out there. And I think he's got quite a couple of million subscribers, so he's not like he's not a nobody. So, yeah.
No, you're not. No. If you can get subscribers like that, then no, you're not a nobody.
No, so you definitely want Wrestling Days watching your product, so he's definitely driving the fans away.
There was another little event happening as well that might have turned. Another wrestling event held today that may have turned the tide against Tony Khan.
Okay. To know about Jinder Mahal, he must watch, or somebody he trusts must watch. I'm just putting that out there. You must watch the product to know. We'll get to Eric Bischoff in a second, but somebody else that got involved was Jonathan Coachman, which sounds something and nothing, and it probably is.
I know Jonathan Coachman, yeah.
But his followers have seen it. So that's the more people that see the stuff that Tony Khan does, the worse for him. So now Jonathan Coachman's followers have seen it. Eric Bischoff thinks he's an idiot. And
Eric Bischoff there's a lot of history there's a bit of history between Khan and Bischoff. Do you remember when Bischoff made an appearance in AEW back in, it was 2020 during the Chris Jericho Orange Cassidy feud?
Vaguely, yeah.
Yeah, he did a segment with them where they were doing, like, in that debate segment with Orange Cassidy and Chris Jericho, and I think Eric Bischoff Tony Khan never got back to Eric Bischoff about something and just about wanting to work for AEW, and then that's what the problem lies. And then he just saw how he did business.
Right, but my point here is Eric Bischoff has a podcast, and podcasts are...
They can be as well, but like...
very powerful, because...
They can be powerful, yeah. They can be powerful. They can be judgmental. It's the same with film critics of podcasts. They can be very powerful as well.
Right. But
and music,
I'm going to kind of stay on point here and not kind of veer off. I'm trying to make this quick. Podcasts can be very powerful. People listen to them on the go. And if you're a person, not necessarily you, Ian, a person is an avid viewer, avid listener, you usually tend to agree with that person, what they're saying. And Eric Bischoff could bury them. Completely bury AEW and drive them away from watching.
What you need to do with a podcast from someone like Eric Bischoff, you need to listen and learn from his mistakes. And that's
what Tony Khan's not going to. Anyway, Justin Khan's weighed in on it, and I'll get to more thoughts in a second. Tony Khan just seriously needs to stay off social media. Even if he's right in certain aspects, he isn't. Just leave well enough alone and run the company, which I'm going to get to.
Yeah, that's actually a true point, Justin. He's just as bad as someone like Donald Trump was notorious for his social media.
But Donald Trump's an idiot. No offense to you, Justin. I know you're American, and you probably think he's an idiot as well. Anyway, we're veering off point here again. Abaddon, Rene Dupree. No. Abaddon, is in the same position as Jinder. She was gone for a year and got a title shot. So how is that different from Jinder? It isn't. Rene Dupree, another
one had to win a fatal 4-way, and the other just got in a segment with Rollins.
But my final point here is it's not real. You could have Hulk Hogan come back and challenge Seth Rollins because he's not real. In wrestling, you can do anything. It's not real. Tony Khan's going on as if this is real life. Jinder Mahal's not won a match for a year, and it's not real. It's made up. It's a work. Rene Dupree, another podcast to watch, said Hulk isn't even a heavyweight, but he's getting a title shot. Okay. Why is Tony Khan caring what WWE do? Why does he care? Why does it matter if Jinder Mahal has never won a match and gets a title shot? Why does he care? Triple H doesn't care what Tony Khan do. He couldn't give a shit. And why is he tweeting? Triple H doesn't sit there arguing with fans all day. He's running $1 billion company.
Well, he's also praising his wrestlers on social media. He praised all the wrestlers for showing up on Raw during the snowstorm.
Right, but you don't see him sat there arguing with the Mark fans about because they've upset him and said something in a tweet, and he's got all upset. And no,
obviously seeing the responses though, and he's probably taken in everything he says as well.
But he doesn't. But if someone, the little Mark on the internet goes, "Well, your booking's crap," he doesn't go after them and go after them. He doesn't care.
Look, he's just someone who can't handle criticism and probably does need to stay
Definitely.
away from
This is maybe something and nothing, but you could read this into this but TNT Sports said they said in a tweet the undefeated Jinder Mahal in 2024. So is that a shot at Tony Khan? If so, they think he's an idiot. The more people that think he's an idiot, the worse it gets for him. So that could be taken as a shot. It might not be, but is it?
Yeah, but there's also been some of the talents as well. Like Meltz confirmed that there were certain AEW talents that got on social media about Tony Khan's actions. They didn't say which ones now, but
I don't know. I don't care about WWE contracts, but something that Rene Dupree said, they're coming to the end of the deal with Taiwan or something. I don't know. I don't care. I'm not going to go and research it. Don't give a damn. But the AEW will be looking for other networks to go on, and one of those potential networks is USA Network. Not anymore. He's burning bridges.
But does he really need that? Like, because USA Network, I'd say they get him to change how he runs things in AEW, because USA Network is more
family. He needs to go on the USA Network that's paying Raw however many billions it's paying them.
Like,
what I'm saying is it burns bridges.
What I'm saying, yeah, it is a bit. But one thing about USA Network is they probably want him to change a few things because they're a family-based network. I mean, like WWE is Raw's leaving. There is talk that they could be picked up by Amazon Prime.
I know that's something I'll get to later on. But what I'm saying is he's burning bridges, and then USA Network might go and tell other networks, you don't want this idiot on your network. Now, Bully Ray's got a podcast. I only really watch it if he's talking about something that I'm interested in, but he hit the nail on the head. Tony Khan is no booker, he's a match maker. Because he'll make all these random matches. You think, where's that match happening? And it doesn't follow up on it. There's a fresh new matches a week after. No follow up. He's a matchmaker, not a booker.
Well, they've all, like WWE did that as well. They made some match. They throw in some random matches here and there that don't make over the years.
Yeah, but Tony Khan never makes sense. It's just like Hook versus Samoa Joe. Why is that match taking place? Anyway, whatever. And the final thing is, and this is going to piss off any AEW real fan, I blame the fans. Anybody that contributes to the ratings or puts money into Tony Khan's pocket, you are enabling him to be the idiot mark he is on social media because he thinks he's doing a good job. He isn't.
What about the fans on cage side seats that were rated?
Well, them as well. That says it all, doesn't it? That he's using that.
Yeah, and they've had to make some.
He's using that as a gauge of whether he's. It says it all. What an idiot! He's using that as a gauge for his success. The gauge for success is ratings, and he pulls in 800,000 because there's not a channel. And this is hilarious. This got me, Tony. He said AEW is the #1 company in England. Definitely not. That will be progress. He's gone to America, Dubai, other countries. But if AEW is the #1 company over here, why is there not a channel for us to watch? Because it isn't. So
where's ITV4?
It's not live. It's a pre-record.
It's the ITV shorts. Yeah, they show Dynamite.
So there's not a live channel like there is for WWE to watch AEW in the UK. Is there one in Canada? I don't know. So it's just America, and he's drawing in 800,000. Give me a second. I'll be back in a minute. Sorry about that. Where were we? But
we're talking about cage side seats now, and because
yes,
of
so the ratings is where your success is, and he draws in 800,000. Damn. And the one rule that Tony Khan's forgetting is wrestling's not real. No one, let's peel back the curtain. No one really wins. No one really loses. No one is really champion because it's all scripted. And Tony Khan's going on as if this is real life. What a mark. Anyway, so we'll get to some Dynamite. Give me a second. So this is last week's Dynamite because obviously we didn't have a chance to review last week's. Give me a second. So yeah, just like I said, the more podcasts talking about what Tony Khan's done, the worse it gets for him. Like I said, if you watch a random person watches a podcast, you tend to agree with what that person says. You think, oh yeah, this person's right. And the most amazing thing is, which we'll get to later, we'll say it now, he got Jinder Mahal cheered. This is a guy that hasn't won a match for a year and buried America 2 weeks ago when The Rock came out, and this week he got cheered. So Jinder's made Tony Khan. So in a way, thank you, Tony Khan, because he's made Jinder a star. Well, not a star, but talked about. He hasn't got his goal of, I don't know what his goal was, but anyway. So give me a second here. So last week's Dynamite we'll start with.
Got 891,000 in the ratings.
Oh, and it's not exactly 171 million, is it? Which, again, I suppose that's not really good for WWE. Very quickly, WWE are popular on social media, and that's what they want to be, but that doesn't translate to TV. Anyway, but AEW isn't popular on social media unless people are booing it. Anyway, Hangman Adam Page defeated Claudio Castagnoli. Okay, your thoughts?
That was actually a really good match.
Okay. Okay. Adam, talk about random match. Here comes a random match. He just throws together with real no build or anything. Adam Copeland, Dustin Rhodes, Orange Cassidy, and Preston Vance beat Lance Archer and Morgan Embassy. Yeah, thrown together. No build.
This was more for like the person who benefited the most was not Preston. Yeah, Preston Vance was. Yeah, he was the one who benefited the most from that because.
But how does that bring in ratings? Doesn't, right? So.
It wasn't more about the ratings on this occasion. It was more about because AEW was in the building that they were using during the. Hold on, let me talk. AEW
it's always about the ratings. The ratings are be all end all in wrestling.
Yeah, just let me talk about this. AEW was in the building that they used for the pandemic, which was also the building for the day. One of the memorable moments at that time in the pandemic era was the debut of Brody Lee, formerly Luke Harper in WWE, as the leader of the Dark Order. And Preston Vance was part of that. And then he got the pin there. So that was sort of in tribute to Brody Lee.
Don't care. It's always about the ratings. It's not about the wrestlers. Ratings, be all, end all, money. Because we'll get to this later. Because if you have high ratings, people want you. Networks want you. So it's always about the ratings. Fuck Preston Vance. Samoa Joe cut a promo. Did you notice what I noticed about the title?
Yes. Well, yeah.
Sideways. Tony Khan wants to bury WWE, but then uses WWE ideas. Mark. Swerve Strickland came out, then Adam Page did, then Hook did. I have no idea what was said. These are just me reading the results. Was it a good segment, this?
Was the Samoa Joe segment?
Yeah, last week. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, they're setting up for something for Hangman and Swerve, with the winner obviously facing Samoa Joe Full Gear.
Revolution.
Page. I think that'll be Hangman Page.
Revolution.
But I think it will be for Revolution. I think it's more likely going to be Hangman Page.
Right. Sammy Guevara defeated Ricky Starks.
That was to set up their match. That was to set up the match between Sammy Guevara and Chris Jericho, the La Sex Gods, versus Ricky Starks and Big Big Bill.
Okay. Oh yeah, we'll get to that later on here then.
Yeah, we saw what happened then. Like they used Jericho's entrance to drown out the boos because of all the allegations they're going with Chris Jericho and Kylie Ray.
Match number 2 thrown together. Anna Jay, Chris Statlander, Willie Nightingale, and Thunder Rosa went over Julia Hart, Sky Blue, and the Outcasts. Match number 2 thrown together. No
Anna
build.
Jay got the pin there. That was something for brother.
Right, so not a ratings poll then. Okay. Roderick Strong beat Brian Keith.
Brian Keith being Ring of Honor. That was the build, continue to build for Roderick Strong's shot against Orange Cassidy, which is coming soon at Revolution.
Yeah, that'll be must see. And the Don Callis family lost to Sting and Darby Allin. Cool. There's nothing there. But go on.
But that set up the build for what we now know, because at Full Gear, this will be Sting's last ever match. He's retiring at 64. And now we know that'll be Sting Darby Allin versus the Young Bucks. Now, a lot of people were against the idea of the Young Bucks because they thought like it should have been a one-on-one match for Sting, like with either Darby Allin. For his last match, he made the call for the Bucks to do it because, one, he doesn't want to work singles matches anymore. He wants to work. He can't go one-on-one at 64 years old.
Right, and you and you didn't you say that the Young Bucks have talent? Now the Young Bucks have killed wrestling by doing finisher after finisher after finisher. They have zero talent. They are untalented completely. Yeah, good in the ring. Yeah, well, okay, but they can't pull the ratings in. And the same with Orange Cassidy. You said he's a talent of being a goof. And Danhausen and Darby Allin is a glorified stuntman and he knows he's not talented. None of those are a draw, therefore not really a talent. Anyway, none of that would make me want to watch Dynamite. Bronze, awful, boring. Let's get to SmackDown. So Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso attacked Cameron Grimes, Paul Heyman in the ring promo, and Nick Aldis spoke as well. Cool.
Yeah, we got the match. We got a 6-man tag: Orton, LA Knight, and AJ Styles versus Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso. We thought we'd get Roman Reigns, but Roman wasn't here, so they were really scouting to see if they'd get someone. Like, I had a lot of thoughts about that, who they would have got, because they went through the entire locker room and they couldn't get anyone on the SmackDown roster. So I thought, what if they probably, because Heyman and Breakker worked together on NXT during when NXT went up against Dynamite. So I thought Braun Baker.
Okay.
That didn't happen either.
In tag team action, Angel Garza and Humberto took a win against LWO. Good, decent match, and I like that they're going to hopefully get a push.
That as well. Like, I'd say, like, now that when the time comes, because the deal's been finalized, we're going to see Andrade work with the other members of the LW, Legado del Fantasma.
Okay.
So we're also going to see Andrade cleared. It's because we're more likely getting Mysterio Escobar at WrestleMania.
Right. Good match. Builds momentum for her heading into the Rumble. Bianca Belair scored a 1-2-3 against Bayley. Yeah, a good match.
That was my favorite match. Like, now that this is where this is really leading to be. She's the favorite now in the Rumble. Bailey is, just to continue the story with Damage. Either they kick her out or she gets.
This I thought was a good.
They need to stick the course with Bailey in the Women's Royal Rumble.
This complete waste of time. Bobby Lashley, who gives him a microphone? Anyway, Bobby Lashley, Street Profits in the ring. Sometimes from things from Karrion Kross. Boring. I just thought, and he stood there looking around like, has he finished? He just
I'm looking forward to, as I said before when they first come, I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do together. When I saw the promos Karrion Kross doing, it very much reminded me of Bray Wyatt, because Kross revealed on the Chris Van Vliet podcast that he was supposed to work with Wyatt at WrestleMania, but we all know what happened with his health, unfortunately. So I am still looking forward to seeing what they can do with this group. One person I think should be in this new group is Dexter Lumis, because we haven't seen him in a while, and they're saying the creative has no plans for him. Maybe put him in with the Final Testament. He'd be a good, like, he'd fit it, and you can have Paul Ellering do the talking for him because he doesn't talk.
Austin Theory taking on Carmelo Hayes. Unfortunately, ended by referee stoppage due to an injury. Apparently, both of them got a concussion.
If that had gone longer, it would have been better. I could have seen Carmelo Hayes win that one.
Yeah. And in your main event, your boy LA Knight, the train seems to be dwindling. The pot wasn't as large as it has been, so people have finally realised that he was a. Whatever. Anyway, Randy Orton, LA Knight, and AJ Styles defeated Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso.
I did like this match.
Quite a did LA Knight, wasn't it?
After there was a mishap, and then
you completely cutting out.
No, I like it. Was like after we thought AJ was done, then Randy Orton came back because he was assaulted earlier on the night, and then Solo Trail. It had.
Right, I'm just going to move on with the rating. I'm like, filler to me. He was like, what really happened? What really pulled in the rating? He still got good ratings, even though for me, filler, decent, I'll say.
There's one thing you missed out. One thing you skipped out on.
What? Something irrelevant? What?
You skipped out. You skipped out on Logan.
Logan Paul, what? Was he there?
He was doing it. No, there was a video package for both Logan Paul and Kevin Owens.
So boring, right? So yeah, that was must-see TV. That pulled in the ratings.
And then Kevin Owens revealed that Logan Paul is going to be on the Kevin Owens show this Friday on SmackDown.
Fantastic, yeah. That's not Reigns, is it? So on Level Up, I'll quickly go for the ratings, the results. There is one match I do want to get your thoughts on. Anyway, Joe Coffey, 1, 2, 3 on Tavian Heights. Jadea Parker got a win against Maureen Miller. So your thoughts on that? Jadea Parker getting a win?
That's a good win for. Is that a first win for her now?
I'm not sure, possibly. And Joe Gacy sent Javier Bernal packing. A couple of fresh matches there, which I always like. Makes sense.
In a while, like Joe, like I'm liking what they're doing with Joe Gacy. Like now, after the end of the schism, which would have been why. But I'd like to see where to go with this one.
So, all makes sense there. A couple of fresh matches, which I always like. Bronze to silver as the rating. I don't watch Level Up, but I'll certainly check the results. So, is it Rampage next? I think, yeah. So, Eddie Kingston retained his Continental Championship against Wheeler Yuta. So, okay. Right? On your thoughts?
Well, it was right off. Eddie King beat all three members in the Continental Classic, and now just right. He's been winning a lot of matches, but that writes that off there. It was good match.
Okay.
The Continental Champion.
It wasn't a good match, but okay. AEW doesn't know how to have a good match. Well, the odd good match here and there, but I know broken clock's right twice a day, isn't it? Matt Sydal took a loss to Swerve Strickland. Okay.
Whose house? Well, yeah, I only watched it for those two matches.
So you're not an AEW fan. You don't watch the rest of the show. Because I watch everything WWE does, everything, or I'll at least keep up with it. I don't go, Reigns is. I watch the whole lot anyway. Hikaru Shida defeated Queen Amanita. Whoopie-doo.
It was win that one.
And the Dark Order defeated Jake Hager, Daddy Magic, and Angelo Parker. Again, whoopie-doo. No, that's going to pull in the ratings.
I was wondering why the Dark Order weren't. And now I see they were devoted to Rampage and they returned face again. Because the last time I saw the Dark Page reunited with.
You completely cut out there, so we'll just go to okay, the rating for that. Well, again, there's absolutely nothing there that I think, I must watch Rampage. Bronze. So on Collision, it was obviously Collision itself and Battle of the Belts, or whatever stupid name they want to give it.
And so the same day as TNA had Hard to Kill.
Yeah. So Adam Copeland went on to beat Lee Moriarty. Okay.
Adam Copeland continuing his open challenges now until he gets back to the TNT title. Like, I hope he gets back to the TNT title come Revolution.
Boy, have they ruined Adam Copeland. Anyway, that's what Solly Gann's good at. Being a complete mark and bringing a talent, using them for a month, and then going, what do I do with them? Or they just ruined them. For the 6-man tag team titles, the Morgan Missy retain against The Righteous and Lance Archer.
And that was the last match they had as the champions, because we saw on Dynamite this week, they lost to the Bullet Club Bang Bang Gang of Jay White and the Gun
Club. Willie Mack took a loss against Dustin Rhodes,
which would set up Dustin Rhodes versus Christian Cage on Dynamite this week, which is actually a pretty good match. Despite their age, both.
No, he won't. AEW doesn't do good. He won't. That's going to pull in the ratings. That's going to outdo SmackDown and Raw. JD Drake, just these names, these nobodies, these jobbers, like, this doesn't pull in the ratings. Hey, Tony Khan's just a matchmaker. Anyway, took a loss to Hangman Adam Page.
Sorry, you broke off there.
JD Drake, all these names, jobber. Just this doesn't pull in ratings. He lost to Hangman Adam Page.
Well, that was to set up. That started Hangman Page versus Claudia. That was the week after Hangman Page versus Claudia. I'm thinking of last week. Sorry.
Okay. Deanna Purrazzo, shock horror, surprise, won her debut match. Who was expecting that? To beat Red Velvet.
Cargill's left. She's been demoted down to jobber. I'd say I could see her leave when her contract.
The whole roster have been demoted to jobber. Anyway, speaking of jobbers, I don't think they got his name. Hook beat a jobber. just to continue his undefeated streak, whatever it is.
That was to warm up against the match with Samoa Joe.
And in your, I don't know if this was whatever in a six-man tag team action. House of Black defeated FTR and Daniel Garcia. Well, at least he got a win.
His contract is set to expire, so either he re-signs or he goes to either TNA or WWE. If he was
Daniel Garcia, they won't want him. WWE don't want Daniel Garcia. He's a mark. He does his little dance, and people, the little marks on the internet go, isn't he clever doing his dance?
But WWE wants entertainers. WWE wants entertainers, so if he can dance, they'll take him.
There's zero entertaining about Daniel Garcia. I'd rather stick pins in my eyes. So no, they don't want him. He's not an entertainer. He's an entertainer to the marks, but the marks will sit there and watch anything.
I'd say he'd be used very well. Like, it's a great developmental. He could go do well in development.
So Battle of the Belts, and something that people have said in the past, that why bother doing Battle of the Belts if you're not going to change the titles? The title doesn't change hands. Anyway, Ricky Starks and Big Bill retain against Chris Jericho and Sami Zayn. I'll just quickly run through these. Julia Hart retains against Anna Jay, and Orange Cassidy retain against Preston Vance. Whoopie-doo. Match there. All of those are going to pull in the ratings, definitely. Anyway, your thoughts about that?
I didn't watch Battle of the Belts. I don't see a point at Battle of the Belts. Like, for one, it would have been on too late, the same time as Rampage, about 3 o'clock. And second of all, I probably would have, I would probably have been watching Hard to Kill at the time. Hard to Kill was the same time, so more people would have been watching that.
Yeah. Give me a second. So we'll go through Raw. So the and also more people talking about Pyro than Cody Rhodes. So that really says it all there for you. So a new stage. Unfortunately, I think it's a 1 week only thing, but I liked it. I think they should keep it.
I hope they keep it. I hope they do keep it now.
Apparently, it is only a 1 week thing because of the snow, so you had to build the rigging from the ground up. They couldn't have the normal rigging they had. They couldn't have the normal stage they have.
Well, apparently, an instant nearly happened with it.
So that again.
An instant nearly happened with it as well.
Okay. So hopefully they keep it, but I've got a feeling it is 1 week only. I would change the Raw one and keep SmackDown as it is, so you're making them separate, even further separate, I suppose. But I've got a feeling, yes, it's a 1 week only thing. So, oh dear, what happened there? Technology is the worst. So, there we go. Cody Rhodes, who had this big announcement but didn't actually say anything, so he wasted people's time in watching. Thank you, Cody. Now, it got interesting when somebody somebody saved him, and that was Drew McIntyre, saved this segment from boring to halfway decent. Your thoughts on this? Right, you're completely frozen. Guessing that's his internet, unless he's left. I don't know. Oh, okay.
And we're back.
So, did you hear what I was saying, or
you were saying something about Cody Rhodes?
Drew McIntyre saved this segment from boring, snooze fest. Shoot me now. I want to turn this off to a halfway decent promo.
Him being on the cover of 2K24,
yeah,
but I did
that's in a pull right. People get 2K24, get the 2K game. You could have a blank cover. They don't get it for who's on the cover. They get it for gameplay, graphics, and story mode. You could have They don't get it for who's on the cover. People that are getting it online ain't going to see the cover. They don't care who's on the cover. Of course, you have The Rock on or John Cena. You might sell a few more copies, but they don't get it for who's on the cover. They get it for wrestling. But believe it or not, the gameplay. Believe it or not, that's the selling point. You could have a blank cover and have the logo on.
Even if you're not a fan of wrestling and you decide to buy the game, like, you can see by looking at like who could be in your own mind who you could think is the top star of the guys on the cover.
So if you're not a wrestling fan, you'll pick it up and go, "Who's that?" Because believe it or not, everybody knows who, outside the wrestling bubble. Nobody knows who Cody Rhodes is. They'll pick it up and go, "Who's that?" They'll just recognise the logo, but they won't recognise who's on it because
they might not recognise the WWE logo either if they don't want it.
Well, they will. They might. Well, if they live in a cave, they wouldn't. But if they've heard of wrestling, they'll probably. But they're not going to buy it. Why would they play the game? That's like me playing a football game.
Well, like, you could have someone who reviews
people
games
get it for gameplay. Nothing to do with it on the cover. It could be a blank cover, and they'll still buy it.
But is it only wrestling games you play? Is it only wrestling games you play?
Yeah.
Well, the thing about video games is, outside wrestling games, when people buy certain games, they also buy them for stories, whether they're RPG, shoot 'em up, or platforms. It's not just the graphic as well. There are a lot of games who develop a lot of
graphics. The selling point.
Graphics are
you're on about the cover, which could be blank. The people aren't going, "Oh, Cody Rhodes is on it. I must get it." Holy fuck! They're getting it for gameplay. So it doesn't matter who's on the front. They're getting it for gameplay. You can have a blank cover. People online who buy it ain't seeing the cover. They don't care. They ain't going to rush out and go, "Well, we must have it now." No, they're getting it for gameplay. That's the selling point. That's why they do so well.
But I like
anyway.
Just go back. I like the segment with Cody and Drew. I liked them going back to when they were a tag team back in 2010, and then the old history about after they got kicked out, they went out and did their own thing. And then just Drew really telling Cody that he needed to go back to being heel and he just didn't want to. So, like, I could see now, like, when we get to the Rumble in the top 4, we can see it being, there'll be Cody in there and Drew will be one of the 2 in the top 4. Probably Punk will be the 3rd guy as well. So, and the 4th line.
We'll get to who may or may not win the Rumble later on. Anyway, good opening match. You had DIY going over JD McDonough and
I like this match now. This was actually really good. I think that's the second match to help get DIY over, because the 2 out of 3 falls match with Imperium helped there as well. So they're getting over bit by bit. Definitely see them getting a shot against Judgment Day at the Rumble.
So you had a good win for them, and it's starting to make sense now. Triple H is starting to make sense of Raw now. Does he play as best as Raw's ever going to get, I would imagine? Triple H is thinking about the future. Who can we push that's going to be the future of the company? Not the stars, because there isn't a star on Raw. A star that the world has heard of. If you haven't, unless you watch wrestling. There isn't one. There isn't a star on Raw. Unless you've heard of your average person on the streets not heard of Seth Rollins.
But like we'll talk about that again. We'll talk about that as well. But like people will hear Seth Rollins. I mean, he is in the Captain America movie.
Right, so if you went up to a random person naming wrestler, they go, "Oh yeah, Seth Rollins." No, the hell, and they go, Rock, Cena, Austin, Taker, perhaps Reigns. Rollins won't even come out of their lips unless they watch it. Your random person on the streets, your 90-year-old person on the street, ain't gonna go, "Oh yeah, Seth Rollins." Not a star. He's in one cameo movie, not a star. And even if he is, he's never been the face.
Hang on, if I'm Irish, I go up the street, they say a wrestler, and someone says Becky Lynch, and they may not have heard of her, but they probably would have seen her on a TV, like, because she's done it press for Ireland as well. She's been on TV shows in Ireland as well. So there's something that you could get her known there.
Again, your random person ain't going to say Becky Lynch.
They could also say Sheamus as well, because he's been on.
Not a star. Not a star. Random people don't know who Sheamus is. Not a star. A star is The Rock. A star is Logan Paul. A star is The Undertaker. A star is John Cena. A star is Tom Cruise.
Yeah, but
nobody knows who Sheamus is.
They'll know who
they don't. A random person doesn't have a clue who Sheamus is. They don't. He's a nobody. In the real world, Sheamus is who? And if they've seen him in a movie, they'll go, "Oh yeah, that's Sheamus." It's just some random.
He was in the second Turtles movie in 2016. Yeah,
They're going to know who he is, then, aren't?
Yeah.
But to a non-wrestling fan, that's just somebody in a movie. They're not going to know who he is.
And they would have seen Becky Lynch as well because she was in the show called with Billions with Paul Giamatti. So
Yeah, not going to know who she is. So if you go out in the street and go, "Name me a wrestler," they go, "Seth Rollins, Sheamus, and Becky Lynch," are they? And oh the hell!
They could, yeah.
In the world, the rest of the world, in Australia, Australia, they're touring. You go to Brazil, you go to anywhere in the world and say, "Name me a wrestler," and they go, "Becky Lynch." No, they're going to say that they knew The Rock is because he's a star.
Hang on, you're talking about Brazil. What about going into flipping Puerto Rico?
The world that knew Becky Lynch is outside the wrestling world. Very little people knew Becky Lynch is because it's like, who? Yes, she's in an odd show. Yes, she's in the odd movie. So's who? Jesus Christ! What wrestler hasn't made a movie? John Morrison's made movies. He's a star, is he? No, he's a nobody in the world. Nobody. So not a star. Star's The Rock. Mega movie star making $50 million movies is the most popular person in the world. Instantly known. The Rock is that famous. People who've never watched wrestling know who he is. That's how famous The Rock is. Logan Paul. Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell defeated Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. So they're knocking off former tag team champions. So again, good win for these. Your thoughts?
The match was kind of a bit quiet down because the DIY match was really good. And plus, Candice and Indy haven't been on TV in a while. So, like, it's a slow build for them now if they're pushing them towards the tag titles. But I won't. But, like, even if they are, I don't see them taking the belts. But it's a slow build.
Right. Yeah, you had Gunther come out, decent promo here, good heel promo, and that brought out Xavier Woods. Later a match, Ludwig Kaiser getting a DQ finish against Xavier Woods.
I'm liking the aggressive side of Ludwig Kaiser now. I'm hoping that leads to a bit of a push there because he's just really coming into his own.
Definitely, I said that last week, yeah. Fantastic work. Akira Tozawa, and again, Triple H gets it. Triple H gets it. He knows that Akira Tozawa's popular. Again, outside the wrestling world, who is he? But to the niche hardcore fans that watch week in, week out, they love him.
He also likes an underdog as well. So, like, he's just giving him a bit of a moment. Just giving him a moment there.
Yeah. So he got a win against Ivar. Cool. I thought this was cool. What did you think?
Yeah, I was surprised. Like, it was supposed like you couldn't always have the same big giant squashes little man. You have to give the little man a bit of a moment. Like, Akira Tozawa is like one of the comedy acts in WWE, and he seems to be loved by the smaller fan base he has. But win's a win for him now. Like, he's funny, so it's good to see him being kept on.
A lot of complaining about this online, which he won't like. But the Rhea Ripley forgetting her lines. Out comes Becky Lynch. A lot of people hated this. Yeah, I thought it was okay. It was
I thought Becky Lynch delivered a good fire promo. That's the women's match you need to give to Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania now. Like, Becky versus Rhea. That's the match that has to happen at WrestleMania, not Rhea versus Nia. You could do Rhea versus Nia. You could do Rhea Ripley versus Nia at Chamber and Rhea versus Becky at Mania.
No, I think you have Rhea defend it in Elimination Chamber because although Elimination Chamber is a big pay-per-view,
yeah, but you need
winning Elimination Chamber is big. I think.
Yeah, you have her face Nia at Elimination Chamber and Becky.
No, how's that a big match?
Becky wins the Chamber because she's not won she's never. That's one thing.
No, right. Rhea defend in the Chamber. The other Chamber match you could have. Ugh. The one contender.
Hang on, is it also just big enough for Rhea to win, like to have one match in there? Like, because either way, no matter what match she gets at Chamber, she will get a crowd reaction in her hometown. So it makes more sense to let it be one-on-one with Nia. So because she'll win either way.
So imagine, she's not winning. So imagine, she's winning, so it's predictable, so people won't watch.
Well, yeah, but like
No,
either
she's not
way,
going to lose. Not going to lose in the chamber, but at least there's more of a chance.
But people will watch, and people will watch either way because they'll want to see if she can actually do the riptide on Nia and just like be like a female.
No one's watching Rhea Nia Jax, and it's on at 11 a.m. here. Again, everybody lives and breathes wrestling like I do. A lot of people don't. They'll catch it whenever. So it's on 11 a.m. here, and is it not 6 a.m. in America? Rhea Ripley, Nia Jax ain't pulling anybody in.
You're wrestling, just get up in the morning, have your breakfast, and just watch it, or watch it from your bedroom. You have a laptop, just sit down and relax.
But not everybody is going to do that. Most people will catch it later because they don't live and breathe wrestling like I do.
That's their own choice. That's their own choice. I'll probably get up and watch it from my bedroom and have my breakfast there. Make myself a bit of a fry up and watch it.
Okay. Judgment. This are lies. I don't care. Our truth is funny, and he's over. He's selling the most t-shirts now. But JD, Judgment Day won against Awesome Truth, so our truth and the Miz and our truth don't know what team he's on, and where's Tom and Mick? Not Tom and Mick, or Tom and Nick. So Dominic, Tom and Nick.
Dominic, yeah, Dominic.
He is hilarious.
Oh, he is. He is very funny. It's our truth. You know it's going to be funny. It's our truth.
Shayna Baszler, who in my opinion should really have been women's champion by now, but that's just me. So Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark, I like the push to get in. Same as last week, beat Natalya and Tegan Nox.
Yeah, she should, but like she's not getting a crowd reaction. She needs to come back to Becky at WrestleMania 36. Everything fell flat.
Yeah. And in your main event that I was so hoping Jinder would win, you could have had Jinder win and he just loses it at Chamber or something, or we'll get to Seth Rollins later here, but you could have had him win and he's losing at Chamber, so you're still getting Seth Rollins at Mania. And the crowd wanted him to win when he hit that Kalash. People wanted him to win. He didn't.
Like, it was actually like, I'm not a big Jinder Mahal fan. I've said that before, but I thought this was probably his best match because you had Sheer out the back for a distraction. Then you have Damian Priest come in. We thought he'd cash in, like they'd have Jinder win and then Priest would cash in, but then Drew McIntyre came out, so that changed everything. And then we had Seth get the last few moments, and then that's when he got the knee injury that he had to do the pedigree and the curve stop just to get out of the match quick enough. And now he's got a knee injury, and it's probably.
We'll get to that in a minute here. So, for the rating for Raw, yeah, good Raw.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the crowd. I enjoyed
Silver
versus Jinder. I enjoyed DIY versus JD and Dom. So yeah, Silver. I enjoyed the Becky and Rhea promo as well.
Even though Rhea forgot her lines and he got hated online, but see, unfortunately, the wrestling internet community will never be. You'll never please everybody. Anyway, silver to gold. So NXT, Carmelo. So Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams defeated Idris Enofe and Elite Blade. First round match in the Dusty Rhodes Classic. Your thoughts on this first?
That was the match of the night for me.
But the bigger story is, so you're going to have Ilya versus Trick at Vengeance Day. So you're going to have Trick and Carmelo lose the Dusty Rhodes Classic. Carmelo, because Trick's got his eyes on the NXT title, which Carmelo will cost him. Do you know what this is called, Tony Khan? A storyline.
Yeah, I am liking the story between Trick and Carmelo Hayes.
Obafemi cut up promos and Dragon Lee came out. I presume we're getting those at Vengeance Day.
Sorry?
Obafemi cut a promo, Dragon Lee did as well. I presume that's your match at Vengeance Day.
Probably, yeah. There's a big aura around Obafemi now, like, because he really he blended in with the crowds, with the crowd going, whoo! Like it was something in Black Panther.
There you go. Like I said,
he has the look of the star. He will be a star, and he's only 26.
So the future's his. Lyra Valkyrie and Lyra Valkyrie and Paxley getting the win here. She's getting a push. I'm not against that. Against Lola Vice and Elektra Lopez. Oh, I'm frozen again.
And we're back again.
Did you hear what I said there, or shall I say it again?
Say it again. Say it again.
Lyra Valkyrie, Tim getting the pin, so she's getting the push. That's all good. Oh,
I'm just turning off my camera. That's all.
okay, right then. Against maybe that'll be better. We'll see. Against Elektra Lopez and Lola Vice. Your thoughts about this?
Yeah, I'm liking where this is going now. Like I just love Lyra Valkyrie, and it seems to be that Lola Vice and Electric turned on each other as well.
Yeah. This was a little bit. Sorry.
I fear though that Lola Vice might not cash in successfully now, because I think the landscape of the women's division NXT has changed now that Cora Jade is injured, and she was obviously going to be the one to beat Lyra, but now she's injured and out for at least a year. So they have to see like where we're going to go with this. Yeah.
Rich Holland, and now it's starting to make sense why he's gone back to NXT. Something I've forgotten about SmackDown. A certain Sunday to a name change, and it's only a name change that really shouldn't be used, but it is. We're getting Pete Dunne, so kind of going back to SmackDown. Your thoughts on that?
Yes. Pete Dunne come back as Pete Dunne.
So it's now starting to make sense why Rich Holland was gone to NXT. He found himself on the winning ways against Joe Coffey.
He got jumped on by Gallus. He brought his own theme song back as well. I like that theme song he had back in NXT UK.
A little bit of a shocker here. Well, the surprise. LWR, I like they're getting a push, but they beat Chase U. And I thought with Riley Osborne in there, Chase U were going to win. But they beat Chase U again this round. Dusty Rhodes got a tag team classic match.
Well, this is continuing the down Chase U because of all the
Joe Gacy. So again, I like what they're doing with Joe Gacy every week. Joe Gacy on commentary. And we witnessed Dijak defeating Trey Bearhill.
And Lexus King then attacked him.
Oh yeah, I forgot that bit. Yeah, so is that your match for the kickoff show, possibly for Vengeance Day? We'll see. Your thoughts on this and your thoughts, Joe Gacy on commentary.
It was grand. Like, he's a good talk. He's all good talk.
You cut out there, so we'll just move to the main event, which was a Battle Royal match. Came down to the final four. Kalani Jordan, Roxanne Perez, Kiana James, and Fallon Henley. I wouldn't have had Roxanne win here. I know, yes, it'll be a good match, but she's had her title shots. She's not beating Lyra. So
she's developing a dark crazy heel, because she's going from the good girl next door to the dark crazy heel. I'm liking what she's doing. Like, there's shades of AJ Lee there. Her ring gear reminds me a bit of Saraya's ring gear during the Paige NXT era. I'm liking where they're going with this. I'll just see how it goes, because now that Cora Jade was my pick to be the one to dethrone Lyra Valkyrie, so now there has to be options of who is the next one. Do they put it on the new version? Do they put it on the new... Sorry, excuse me, I stammered there. Do they put it on the new version of Roxanne Perez? Do they put Blair Davenport back in the scene? Or another option is, if she gets called to NXT, does Jade Cargill do it?
Yeah, possibly. All those are options, but I would have had Kiana win this, which pushes... Is it dangerous with... Pushes her. She's not going to beat Lyra. That's still a big match.
Still a good opportunity for her, yeah. Just a good opportunity.
So I was a bit shocked that Roxanne won. This will be a good match, but So silver to gold, my rating for NXT. So we'll get to some news here in a second, but first I will play this. And he's right. All my socials, do like and subscribe because we've got put together. We've got some great ideas coming up, and you really don't want to miss out. I might actually reveal one of those ideas at the end. We shall see. But let's go to our final segment here, which is. News and headlines. So we'll leave the big news for last as like the main event. So the first news is the Top Dollar, Dana Brooke and Dolph Ziggler are now in TNA. So your thoughts on this?
It's a big win for them now because, like, this is the start of the new TNA season now under Scott D'Amore, and it's a big win indeed to get Dolph. Like, everyone thought he would jump to AEW now, but I think he obviously saw what TNA had to offer him, and then he just took it there because he's also working in New Japan as well. With Dana Brooke, Dana Brooke decided to go with TNA because she got the advice of Trinity Fatu and Mickie James. So they recommended for her as a good place to develop character development. She had a lot of criticism around her character because some people claimed she ripped off Timeless Tony.
Yeah.
Don't care.
Yeah, Top Dollar ain't moving the needle. Dana Brooke, cool. Okay, it's cool for Top Dollar and Dana Brooke. They've got somewhere to go after WWE. They've got this life after WWE. Their career's not just over. And Dolph, yeah, he's not changing TNA, making it the #1 company, but he'll possibly pull in ratings.
He's got now because along with TNA New Japan, he's going to be working in GCW Game.
So you mentioned New Japan, so I don't know how true it is, but Jack Perry now in New Japan Pro Wrestling. He ripped up his AEW contract. Apparently, that's all the work. So your thoughts on this?
He could have some good matches up in New Japan as well because there is a good division there. Like, he could do the junior heavyweight division as well. Like, he's got a lot of options there to work there for a while until they decide to bring him back into AEW. So let's see how this goes now. I just wonder how the reaction will be when he gets to AEW now, and if he takes any shots. Because we saw on Dynamite this week, the Bucks took a shot at CM Punk under a new character, calling him cancerous.
Every week is something that's been some dig at WWE. And if it isn't a work, I'm just putting it out there, it isn't working. Jack Perry really tore up his contract. That is another loss for AEW. Any talent is a loss for AEW. They're only they'll be 5 years in May, so they're still a fairly new company. So to be losing any talent is a loss. So the next piece of news here, and could or could not be true, Seth Rollins to miss WrestleMania. So if he does, where does this leave CM Punk and where does this leave the world title?
I've had thoughts there, because first off, that's the third time Seth Rollins has injured that knee. He injured it in Dublin in 2015. I was there for it when he injured it. And it's not the first time he injured in a big segment, because remember 2017 leading into WrestleMania 33 with the Triple H story when Samoa Joe was brought in and the knee got injured again. So he has scary history with that knee. Yeah, like he's getting evaluated, right? The way I see it, because I'm looking forward to seeing Seth Rollins versus CM. Give the belt to Drew McIntyre and give it Drew and Punk the main event. Damian Priest cash in.
Yeah. I'm just quoting PNP here, the host of PNP, what he said, which I think this is a good idea. Well, Rollins doesn't have to be at Rumble or Chamber. He can just heal up. That's one. So let's hope he doesn't miss a match. But you do Rollins, Punk, and Priest cashes in on Rollins because we all know what the main event of night 2 is going to be. So you don't want that overshadowing night 1. You want something to, because if you do nothing on night 1, Rock Reigns is going to totally outshadow everything. So you do something on night 1. Otherwise, night 2 is going to trounce it.
Them to have Priest cash in on the match between Punk and Rollins, because that's where I think they'll go with it now. But it depends, like when they decide to split.
But I think that, or something else he suggested, you make the Rumble, and if the rumors are true, that means the Rock's winning the Rumble. Kind of spelt it here. That's what something else we're going to talk about. But you made the Rumble for the world title, which isn't a bad idea either.
Say that again, because your link broke.
Something else. Again, I'm just quoting here. This is not my idea, but I think it's good. So you could, if you're not doing Priest cashing in at Mania, you make the Rumble for the world title.
That's another thing people said as well. Yeah, they could do that now. They could do that, and then you would have to put the world. Then you have Damian Priest cash in.
So our final piece of news here is a certain tribal chief, Roman Reigns, missing Elimination Chamber. I don't know if I said this to you, Ian, or just to myself, but I did say he was going to miss it. Not on the poster, so I'm not shocked here. Which obviously means it has certain matches happening at Mania, which also brings into play the big rumors for who's winning the Rumble. A certain great one, which I did say 2 weeks ago. Said the Rock's winning it. So the Rock wins. It's in Tampa. This means anybody can win it. The Rock's not a wrestler, he's a Hollywood movie star, so anybody can win the Rumble. That's what it opens the door up to. And of course, what WWE want? Headlines. So does the Rock win the Rumble?
It's an option as well. It's okay, yeah. It's an option. It's an option, but the simple question is, does the Rock really need the Rumble to get to Roman Reigns? Because he could just go in and he could just confront Roman Reigns after the Fatal 4-Way. More likely he will retain and just look him in the eye and do his own points and stars. He doesn't need to win the Rumble to get to him. And look at it this way. How about do you really want to see a 51-year-old man eliminate guys like Gunter or Drew McIntyre or Sami Zayn and just feel like you're back in a Vince McMahon booked Rumble where the old legends are eliminating the fresh meat?
Well, he probably wouldn't. He'd probably be like The Rock, and he wouldn't shout me if he's The Rock. Well, I would imagine him like The Rock clear tags, he's Jinder and a couple of other nobodies, and maybe one. I
don't think it would work as a booking idea. Like, it works for someone like Brock Lesnar. It won't work for The Rock. It works for people like Brock Lesnar and maybe Goldberg. It won't work for The Rock.
Okay, true. See, either way, whether he does, if doesn't win it or does win it, I see it, envision Reigns holds up the title. If you smell, out he comes, stare off, point at the sign. That's it, match made.
And then they build to whatever they decide to do with the match if it happens at Mania.
It definitely is. It definitely is.
I don't think they need to give the Rumble to The Rock. You give the Rumble to CM Punk still.
I think he's winning the chamber. Give me 1 second. Oh, there we go. I lost a paper. There it is. So if it is the match we all think it's going to be, is Rock Reigns, where else are they going to do it? It's a Mania match.
If it doesn't happen at Chamber, then yeah, you have enough time to build it for Mania, and then you have enough time then to build it for Mania. Then, if you don't have it at Chamber,
how's it happening at Chamber when Reigns isn't going to be there?
I said you don't. I said if it's not happening at Chamber, then you have enough time to build it at Mania.
So Rock's going to wrestle himself, is he? Reigns isn't going to be there, so it's not happening at Chamber. It's Mania.
He doesn't have to. He doesn't have to wrestle at Mania. He could just make an appearance and talk for a couple of minutes.
Which I think they're going to do. So that's why you have The Rock.
There's an option. There's another option as well. He could confront Paul Heyman.
How I would book it, if I'm the booker, Rock wins the Rumble. He's on Raw, the following Raw, and The Rock's a megastar. You use him as much as you possibly can. He's openly scheduled up. So Rock is on Raw. He's at Vengeance Day. He's at Elimination Chamber. But by then, it's clear that it's going to be Rock Reigns at Mania. So you have Reigns, acknowledge me, blah, blah, blah. If you smell, Rock comes out. He's at Elimination Chamber. You use him as much as you possibly can to get as much ratings as you can. That's how I would book it. But also, if he confronts Reigns, do the same thing.
The ratings and all, okay, that's fine as well. Like, yeah, brings in cash, but what are you prepared for the fan backlash then? You have to also go with a plan B that his fans could turn against him, because he's eliminating people like Gunter and he's eliminating people like CM Punk, who everyone thought that they were going to give the Rumble to, coming up to the 10th anniversary of when he left WWE. You have to be prepared for that as well. Like, you'll be putting The Rock in the same situation as Batista, and like, Batista went with it. Like, he even flipped the bird at the fans. And like, you have to also take back to 2015 when The Rock came out to help Roman Reigns in his Royal Rumble win, and the fans turned on the two of them, and there was even riots on the street when it happened. So you have to be careful with that. About, do you want to actually...
Okay, two things. Batista's not The Rock. And
Batista was still, but it was still an old time. It was still a past part-time wrestler that took away the moments from another popular wrestler, from a popular wrestler who was from two popular wrestlers in Punk and Bryan back at that time.
The Rock's the biggest, most popular person in the world. And like I said, you don't have to. Okay, don't have him win. Punk wins it. You still do everything I said. Use him as much as you possibly can, and you just do the stare off at the end of the Rumble.
As far as the most popular person in the world at the moment, like, that's debate. That's a bit of a long debate there, but that's a different story here and there. But yeah, if you want him to appear at the Rumble, just have him come out and confront Reigns. Don't put him in a situation that you know he's going to get booed at, because it might cause a problem for your match, and you don't want him getting booed going into the match. You want The Rock as the face in this match, and it could cause a problem for him depending on which way they decide to book the match.
Which you would think Reigns wins, which, well, again, not clear. So let's go.
What place they put it on, depending on what else happens at Mania.
So it should be okay. So The Rock's giving up his free time and freed up his schedule. So he's going to go. You're going to be the opening match. So The Rock doesn't want, as a businessman, doesn't want it to be the main event. He's a businessman who makes money.
Yeah, I know he's a businessman and all that. I'm sure he still makes his fair share of the money wherever the match happens. Whenever the match happens.
No, you casual fans are turning off, because if I'm a casual fan, and I am a casual fan, I'm a casual AEW fan, but for this second, I'm going to put myself into the shoes of a casual fan. They don't care about Cody's story. They want stars. And the biggest match they're going to do, probably this year, there's nothing bigger than Rock Reigns. You do that first, I'm turning off. And if they're going to watch anyway, because it's WrestleMania, and they watch WrestleMania regardless of what the main event is, then nobody's a draw. And you can have Hornswoggle versus a Great Khali and they'll still watch. Shit about it online and go, that's the main event and laugh. But they'd still watch. So it doesn't matter what the main event is.
Also, remember, Joe, what else you are at the moment?
What? Oh, go on.
You're also the host of a podcast. I said to you, you are also the host of a podcast. And when you're doing a podcast like this, you have to give a review. You have to give a review to your fans of what you thought about the other matches. Because people are going to ask, oh, it's only watched one match turn off WrestleMania. What's the point of watching this podcast then?
That's me. I said a casual fan that watches Mania, SummerSlam, the big pay-per-views, doesn't watch Raw. We won't be watching Raw. They just want stars. They want the big matches. They're turning off the Rock Reigns. Turn off. And they know the result. They know that Cody's going to win. So why are they going to watch? They're not. Off. Not a fan.
Fan of Cody, but at the end of the day as well, you're also the host of a podcast. And you have to give your
casual fan that there's many of. It's okay. I'll use an example here, and it's not really a good example because people Asda. Now people need food; they don't need wrestling. They need to eat. But so a supermarket will have their customers 10, 20 years have been going. So why do supermarkets do deals? They're not there for the people that are already there. They're to pull in more customers.
They do.
Just like wrestling, The Rock's there to pull in more people. That's a bad example because people need food. They don't need wrestling. People can't live without food. They need to eat and drink. People can live without wrestling. So it's kind of a bad example, but
food, but they can't always afford things. So the shops will always sell.
Also, Reigns has got a documentary coming out. I don't know when that is. If that's next month, are they going to have his documentary come out and he loses? When have WWE ever done that? They'll want him as champion to promote it.
I don't think it'll hurt. I mean, Cody lost the main event, but he still got a documentary. People still watch it.
Also, the Cody Rhodes story, he's the antithesis of his father because he wanted to be everything his father wasn't. The American Nightmare character is everything his father isn't. This doesn't work. But The Rock and Reigns are family. It's blood. They're both Samoan. It's a fight. Not real life wrestling, not real. But it's a fight for who's the head of that family. And like you said earlier,
you can have that story. You can have that story. That's no problem there.
And like you said about Philadelphia, The Rock can say, I'm the people's champion, and the people turned on me because of you. I should have kicked your ass then. You can say that.
They could bring that up as well, but Reigns could bring up certain things about The Rock as well, like how he's had a bit of a slump in his Hollywood career at the moment. Like his next film is going on Amazon Prime, it's not going into the cinema.
I'm sure The Rock doesn't care about that anyway. And The Rock could say, I put you in one of my movies. I made you the star you are. If it wasn't because of Hobbs and Shaw.
No, it won't. They're not going to bring up Hobbs and Shaw. I don't see them bring.
If I would have said, if it wasn't for me putting you in one of my movies, you wouldn't be the tribal chief you are today, and nobody would know you. The Rock could completely bury him. He's not going to do because he's family. But he could.
But he didn't become tribal chief because of Hobbs and Shaw now. That doesn't really work.
No, but if I'm The Rock, I'm mentioning that. I made you a star. I put you in my movie.
Made him a star. You bring up the Royal Rumble from 2015. That's how you do it.
Also, if it is Rock Reigns, people aren't going to stop watching. Diehard, and Cody only appeals to the diehard fans that will, which I'm one of, so I'm not calling the diehard fans. I'm not saying they're all idiots or anything. I am one of them, but the diehard fans watched a recap of Raw on Christmas Day. They got 600,000, which is still 600,000, so they'll sit and watch anything. So if it's Rock Reigns, they'll still continue to support Cody, and Cody doesn't appeal to your casual fans, so there's that. Also, as a Cody fan, surely you want the best for Cody, so why wouldn't you want him to beat The Rock, surpass Hogan, which would be a bigger win for Cody?
I think we're surpassing Hogan between now and then, because say if they do make Rock and Reigns the main event and Reigns wins, he goes away again. And I've said this so many times. Both stars will go away after WrestleMania. What does Cody do between now and then? Because Reigns will come back till say SummerSlam.
And that's where you do the match. Because if he's big enough for the main event Mania, surely he's big enough for SummerSlam. You do the match there. And then what Cody and you drop Cody to SmackDown, take Cody to SmackDown, and I would have Reigns going making a movie, and he appears on the Tantron on set. You have Cody turn around and say, "You're not even here. These people need a champion. I'm going to be it." Do the match at SummerSlam. And the thing with Reigns not being there, well, that's what a star is. Because if you go there every single week, Cody, Rollins are all lumped together. There's nobody stands out. There's no star, because you can see. If I'm okay, I missed Cody's promo, for example. I'm not like, oh, I missed his promo. Oh no, he's gonna be on Raw the week after. So Rollins gonna be on the Raw the week after. So I'm not missing anything.
Promo with CM Punk on next week on Raw.
Well, there you go. That's how you tune in. You're going to watch CM Punk's promo because he's not there every week. That's how you create a star.
I'll be seeing what he does with Cody. I wonder if there's going to be kind of a middle finger to the book.
Also, so a few other final thoughts here. What extra views is Cody bringing in? What views he brings in? These people that complain online that don't get wrestling as a business, and Reigns is making money. Reigns is the leader title. Reigns has been champion for too long. He cheats. Yes, he's heel. So the people that Triple H probably doesn't give a crap about, because it's the people going to the shows. That's who he cares about, the ones spending money. No, and this is just a name I'm going to make up, Bob Smith on Facebook going, oh, the Reigns have been champion for too long. Right? So, the only people that Cody brings in are those people that are sick and tired of Reigns being champion. But you could give it the title to Hornswoggle and have the same results.
But here's the thing. Are you thinking... Did?
Cut out. Say that again, please.
Method as Vince.
Something about Vince?
I said, do you think in your head that Triple H has the same business method as Vince McMahon?
He should do. Money. It's all about money all the way.
There is money to be made in WWE. I mean, like he does care about the business. That's what I mean. He wouldn't be bringing WWE around the world as well, besides America, and doing shows in Australia, France, Canada, and Berlin. He also wants to make the stars of today, and yeah, it's a bit. You'll have to go with what you have today, depending on nostalgia. Last 3 times we've done this podcast, when we get. And we've been talking about this for the last few weeks.
But when you've got The Rock, okay, Black Adam Bond, he's still absolute global money, media magnates. Everybody knows who The Rock is. Like I said, people that never watch wrestling know who The Rock is. He gets quoted, mentioned everywhere. Yeah. So when you've got The Rock, who's a much bigger star than, guess what, even Roman Reigns, why would you not use him? He's a megastar. He makes money. Brings in. Think about the headline: Rock returning to wrestling.
The Rock. I'm not saying he doesn't do the match, but he also has to work away as well to keep his current talent happy because he knows that
that's not The Rock's fault that he's a bigger star than everybody else on the roster, is it? It's not his fault.
But here's the thing: like Triple H is not going to do those. And just walk in like he's going to work out something with him because he wants to keep his current roster happy as well. He needs.
If The Rock said, "I want the," in fact, The Rock said, "I want the match and I want it to be the main event," Triple H wouldn't go, "No, it has to open Mania," because he'll go, "Okay, I'm not doing it," and he's going to lose out all that money. Triple H will say, "Yes, Rock, I'll do it." Of course, he's going to do. He's The Rock. The Rock. He's the most powerful man in the world. He can probably walk on water. The Rock can. He's a megastar. When you're the height of The Rock, you can do anything.
Too far there about the most powerful man in the world. Like,
okay, not most powerful man, but he's an absolute star. He can do anything. He can walk in, waltz in. I want the match. Okay, Rock, here's the match.
Okay, he's not. Like I'm sure Triple H knows that, and he's not stupid. He has to say, for WWE, we fair with us. We need you to be the opener. Put no, because Reigns is going away, and this new era with a star that's going to be there, and like in return for this, and you'll be the head. To that as well, like he will take. So why not do it this weekend? He could play ball as well.
If I'm The Rock coming in and something else that another podcast I watch 10,000 of them, and again I watch this very rarely. But Zeb Coulter, Dutch Mantel, call him what you like, said wrestlers have, and this concludes every single wrestler ever, an ego, and the bigger star you are, the bigger ego you have. So The Rock with his ego is going to go, yeah, I'll be the opening match. No, he's going to want to be the main event and much money as possible, as much media attention as possible. If I'm The Rock, I'm coming in, what he says, you have to be the opening match, I'll say, bye then. And you've just lost out on all that money. Bye. I don't care about the current talent, because I'm The Rock, I'm much bigger star than all of them. Give me the match. That's what I would do. And it's not his fault that he's the name that he is today. That's WWE's fault for not building anything.
But he's never actually said he didn't care.
I would. If I was The Rock, I'd come in and say, I don't care about the current talent. I want that main event. Give me it. And if they didn't,
we saw him backstage after his return on. Well, we saw him backstage hug Cody Rhodes, so he knows he doesn't do that phase. Because he seems like
I was The Rock. Well. I would be coming in and saying, I want that main event. And if Triple H said no, bye then. Don't do it. Don't use me then. Lose on all that money. See ya. Don't make Mania big. Bye. Simple. I would demand it.
You kind of make The Rock sound like Brock Lesnar.
But I'm not saying The Rock is, from what I've seen, a great gentleman, gets how business works, really nice guy. But if I'm The Rock, if I'm Dwayne Johnson, I'm going into Triple H and saying, that's the main event I want. Don't give it to me. Bye. Done. You just lost on out all that money. Good luck with WrestleMania. Get me a star that's going to replace. Get me a star that's going to replace me. Get a star as big as me. Oh, you can't, because I'm the biggest name in the world. See ya. See ya, Triple H. He's not going to do that because he gets the business and all that. But if I'm The Rock, I'm doing that. Because, again, He's a megastar, and I can demand what I like because I'm The Rock. Also, something and nothing. I don't know if you bet on Mania, but I do. I'm not a big gambler. I bet for the Grand National. I bet on Mania, and it's only £1. And as well to bet.
No, I don't bet.
Maybe on the Grand National, okay then. But it's only £1 I do, and to make big money, you've got to bet big money. But okay, doing Reigns Cody, people are going to get paid for it. But where's the fun in it when you know he's going to win? So that's just something and nothing. And talk shows. Around WrestleMania time, wrestlers are always on talk shows. Who's a bigger name than The Rock? The Rock pulls in the rating, and this is why they have the guests on, to pull in ratings. And I don't usually watch American talk shows, but I did when Reigns was on, because Reigns looks like a star. Here he comes with Paul Heyman behind him, carrying the 2 titles. This guy's a star. Cody Rhodes looks like...
You could have Reigns on. You could have Reigns on. Yeah, you could have you could have any other person on as well. Like, yeah, you could have Reigns on. You could have Cody on. Here's one example. The weekend before WrestleMania, Becky Lynch was on an Irish TV show promoting WrestleMania.
No, right, you completely missed my point. What I'm saying is Cody Reigns. I don't watch American talk shows because I just don't. But I did when Reigns was on, because Reigns looks oozy star quality. If you walk past him in the street, you think, who's that? And if you don't know who he is, who's that? Oh, look at him. Cody Rhodes walked past you in the street, it's who? He has bleach blonde hair and wears a suit. He looks like every other guy in America. Doesn't look like a wrestler.
Well, he has TV type look, so he probably would get on it as well. So that could happen as well. Like, they could have Cody come on and promote it. They could have Roman come on and promote it. They could have Seth Rollins or CM Punk or Becky Lynch promote it.
But who's going to watch it? The world doesn't know who Cody Rhodes is. Wrestling fans do. So that's it. And something else, and it was only for a month, but Reigns held 3 titles. He physically held 3 titles, making sure now, unfortunately, WWE have really fucked themselves up, because they have to make sure no one is ever going to do that again. It was only for a month, but still, he held 3 titles, so... And very quickly, something else you said, Cody connects with the fans. Yeah, the promos are scripted.
Yeah, his promos are scripted, but you see the reaction as well. It's not just from the scripted promo. You see when he comes out, not just from people singing as well, slapping hands with the fans. Like
that's everybody.
That's everybody who does. He even agreed to be a random fan's best man at the wedding. He even bought tickets for a school in New York. So he does have connection with the working class fans.
He's a nice guy. But going back to his promos, which are scripted, and if he connects with the fans, that's Triple H and the creative team doing a fantastic job, but they're scripted. So, and you also brought up tribute to the troops. I would imagine, just like every other American, he's more than proud with what the troops do. But was that the only reason he was on? Or is it because they're positioning him to be the guy? No, he's not going to be the guy. He's not replacing Reigns. But he turned up for the troops. Look at him, isn't he nice?
Yeah. Yeah.
So is it just
like he does? I could see him being the guy that does the tribute to the troops now that Cena's going away. So he could be the guy they turn to for that as well.
You also mentioned his character. What character? White meat, babyface, cookie cutter, smiles to the fans, and I'm all about America. That's not a character. And I can script Cody Rhodes promos. Ready? Insert time This week they're in Little Rock. Little Rock, what do you want to talk about? Welcome to Monday Night Raw. Love you all. Then either somebody interrupts him, so they'll talk, or insert opponent's name. I'm going to beat them. I'll do it for you. And week after, what do you want to talk about? And does it all over again. And what was the other thing? His look. Yeah, he looks like every other guy in America. Bleach blonde hair, wears a suit.
Nice teeth.
It's like every other guy in America. How does he stand out for you? Like I said, Reigns walks past a random person in the street. You're going to go, "Who's that? Look at him!" Because he's huge. He looks like he's Samoan. You know, I don't like him made in that way, but he's good looking. Yeah, you don't have to be gay or anything to appreciate a good looking man. He's good looking, movie star good looks. You notice Reigns. Cody walks past you in the street, you go, you don't even look at him. So if I'm WWE, I'm Triple H, I'm doing Rock Reigns, your main event, and I will be, if they're going any other direction, I'm shocked. Him being on 2K23 really doesn't mean anything. 24 doesn't mean anything because they'll get the money for the game in March, putting the title on him. Might shift a few more copies, but that's it. If I'm Triple H, I'm doing The Rock. Cody Reigns will make the match for SummerSlam. Or Raj Giri said you're doing a Survivor Series in Madison Square Garden. That's how you wrap up the whole story. What do you think of that?
That's another good option in Madison Square Garden, but all it really depends on what you do between now and then, and do for Roman.
What you do between now?
If they have the match, that's the question. What you do between now and then is what
Reigns will take time off. He'll do what he's doing, and if it is. And I really hope this is not true. People have said it's health problems. So Reigns could be done whenever he loses that title. After a 1,300-day title reign, what's left? He ain't coming back to be your opening match on main event. What is left? Well, nothing. And he shouldn't go. And he shouldn't go on a losing streak.
I hope
it should be one. Sorry, go on.
I hope his health is going to be okay anyway. So yeah, I don't want to see any wrestler get sick or injured.
Well, with cancer, he can come back, and he's super healthy. Look at him, Jesus. And
I know. I'd hate to see him go back to
even the most healthy person, like you've seen, Reigns got ill, and it could come back just like that, unfortunately. So that is the rumours. Unfortunately, it could be health problems. But I think he is done after this. So you are then losing really the only star they've got. And look, Logan Paul, Reigns, Logan Paul, your two top stars in the company.
Now, hang on. To be fair, like Logan Paul is not a top star. He's not a top star. Another thing as well, Paul would win Money in the Bank in July, and he didn't.
Logan Paul definitely is a top star. That's why he got hired by WWE to pull in fans.
No, he's a top
star. To bring in outsiders. He definitely is a top star. Logan Paul is such a top star. He can. Prime was. It was a drink, and people were going crazy over it. But people were paying 50 quid for a bottle of Prime. That's how popular he is. So. He's more than definitely a top star.
Right, yeah.
So, Reigns, Logan.
But I'm just pointing out, saying that he's not in a position at the moment to become a champion. He's the United States champion, yeah, but that's what he'll be for now, a mid-card champion. But he'll still be attention, no matter what he holds.
So, Reigns, Logan, Lesnar. Outside of there, they really are struggling for stars. There's some big names, and they're getting a push. Like Rhea is a big name. She's getting a push. Great, fantastic. But again,
Gunther's a big name.
you went to a random person and said Rhea Ripley, they'd look at you and go, who? Unless they watched it to know who she was. You wouldn't have a clue who you're talking about. You'd say, Rhea Ripley? Who's that? So, yeah. Brock Reigns is a match I would go with. And something else that the host of PMP said, you have both Rock and Heyman in the Hall of Fame. Rock's your headliner. Reigns and will be like, you're upstaging Paul Heyman. Who the hell do you think you are? Plays into the story. So, nope, I've frozen. So, did you know what I said, or?
Yeah, you're talking about who the hell Rock. You're talking about Rock and Heyman.
Yeah, so the Reigns is like, you upstaged because the ego of Reigns and Heyman are above everybody, above the world. Rock, he can be like, who do you? He can play into the story. Well, who does the Rock think he is upstaging Heyman? You do that as well. So anyway, so reveal two pieces of news. Hopefully, if I can figure it out, I'll have to get Googling. On Saturday, we'll do a Sporkle quiz. And hopefully, if I can get him on, so get your questions in. Vince Russo will be joining us. Because that's a potential. It's in the works. So hopefully that can happen. And possibly next week we'll be joined by a reality of wrestling trainee. So I think that'll be cool. He's been on before, but I think it'd be cool to have him on again. To hear about his progress in wrestling. And like and subscribe. Get the word out there. And before I finish up here, good night. Oh dear. Hang on. There's always something. Just as I was finishing up there as well. Give me a second. It's absolutely going crazy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to the bottom here. What is it? Give me 1 second here. Jesus.
Jeez, what are you doing?
So, let's finish up here. It's freezing again. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
It's freezing again for some reason. Can you take that comment off, or it's not letting me press anything again?
Yeah, it's off now. Right?
Okay, right. So it won't let me press it. It should be in the videos, and it should say outro. So if you can play that in a second, can you find it?
Videos now. I'll go and start now.
Should say outro. If you play in a second, if you find it first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, if you found it.
I'm going through brand now. Logo, overlay, video clips. Hang on. Oh, podcast outro. Yeah, I've got it now.
Right, so in a second. So play that in a second. So remember, everybody, to acknowledge and electrify. has it ended?
Yeah, it has. No, you're still
Right. For me, it's I'm still live. Is it not live on your end?
It is.
It is. Well, if you can press end, then.
All right, I'll do that.